Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping in. This is MidnightRangeTM, and thanks to Clover Tack and his persuasion, tonight we're going to do spring rolls, or basically a pork filling that you can use for spring rolls or some other stuff. It's super easy, and basically you've got to think about it almost like a meatloaf filling, and that's how I do mine anyway. So what we're going to do is throw it all together. We're going to let it rest a little bit. If you do it the day before, it works out great too. But you can do it the day of too. But it does need a little bit of time, at least an hour, I'd say, where you can kind of let it sit and marinate, basically. And there is some breadcrumb in there, so it can absorb some of the flavors. And when you cook it, the breadcrumb actually helps absorb the fats a little bit too. So it kind of holds that all in there and stays nice and moist. If you get a little background noise tonight, I apologize. The restaurant's still moving out front as I'm doing the video in the kitchen here, so we can get this stuff going here. First thing we want to do is pork. This is 1.25 pounds, ground pork, 100% ground pork. This is a natural product, which is really nice. Throw that in there. Get out of here with that. And we're going to slam the ingredients right in there, and we're going to knead it by hand. So, tablespoon of garlic. Not very hard. Tablespoon of ginger. Fresh ginger. We actually do our ginger at the restaurant because we go through much. We actually do it in a blender. We'll spoon it, where you actually, that sounds funny, but you actually take a spoon and you can scrape the skin off of ginger. We chunk it up and then we blend it in a blender with just a little bit of water. Just enough that it'll catch. And you get a nice pureed kind of ginger. It doesn't get real fibrous that way. We're going to crack an egg. Get out of here with that too. A tablespoon of soy sauce. And that is a light soy. If you like the regular, you can use the regular. I just use the light because it's not quite as salty. A tablespoon of heavy cream, because it's nice to add a little bit of fat. And it adds moisture, obviously. Tablespoon, or a half a tablespoon of sambal. Okay? Sambal is a SAMBAL. It's a chili paste you see in a lot of Asian cooking. It's basically just crushed chilies, crushed red chilies. Awesome stuff. We're doing a teaspoon of salt and pepper. Just kosher salt, black pepper. Use kosher salt. Don't use table salt. Get that stuff out of there. If you do a tasting for yourself at home, I guarantee you'll use kosher every time. Take your fingers, take a little bit of kosher salt. Okay, give it a couple of seconds, and then go taste some iodized table salt. It's gross. Tastes metallic. It's got a real, almost bitter taste to it. Trust me, you won't use it anymore. Sea salt's great too. Sea salt or kosher. I like kosher in a restaurant because it's a little bigger. You can feel it. And as a chef, we're tasting, we're seasoning, we're trying to be precise. So to be able to pick up that kosher salt and sprinkle it, accurately is really important. This is cilantro and Thai basil, a tablespoon of each. Okay. Thai basil is awesome stuff. Okay. Purple stalks look similar to regular basil, but it has an amazing black licorice or anisette kind of flavor and aroma. If you crush it between your fingers and smell it, it's awesome. You see it a lot in Thai cooking. It's easy to grow too. I actually know people, I've met people that love it so much they grow it at the house. And we're going to add, like I said earlier, this is about 2.5 tablespoons of breadcrumb. So if it looks like meatloaf, that's pretty much what it is. It's almost like an Asian meatloaf. So what we're going to do, we're going to give this a mix. We're going to knead it up. Try not to overwork it. And what you want to do anytime you're forming a burger or something like this, like a meatloaf, work it as little as possible. The hotter it gets, the warmer it gets, the more you work it, the more you mix the fat in with the meat, and it'll actually make it tougher. You want the fat and the meat to be layered or sort of mixed, not mixed together. And that's really nice for a burger too. If you overwork a burger, they get super tough. So we'll come back here in a couple of minutes and show you how to form these. Okay, guys, we're back. Let it rest a little bit, and we should be good to go. So these are the wrappers for the spring rolls. You will see egg roll wrappers, kind of, I'm sure, by the same brand and stuff. And look at that, they even tell you on the back how to do them. Get rid of that. So, when you look at them, they're really kind of interesting because they're sort of spongy. It's hard to describe. It's almost like foamy in a way, but they're pretty durable. They hold up really well. You don't have to be too delicate with them when you're doing it, and you'll get used to it. The first couple you do might suck, but that's okay. So what we do is, this is just one egg and like a teaspoon of water as an egg wash. Nothing too fancy about that. And you want to just go at the outside. You don't want to saturate it. You don't want to get it too wet because it soaks through. And if you soak it through and it soaks through to the outside when you fry it, anything that you fry that's wet on the outside will get dark like instantly. And you know, it looks burnt even though it hasn't been in there very long. So take a little bit of the filling, and you want to start towards the bottom. I should say maybe the first, maybe at the 1/3 point of the wrapper from top to bottom here. This is probably, I don't know, 2-3 tablespoons worth of the mix. Now this is just super simple. It's carrots, red pepper, scallion, and a little bit of bean sprout, mung beans. You know, if you've ever seen these, it's the sprout of a soybean. And we're just going to lay this. Now this is totally raw. And I really like to use the raw filling and the raw veg because then everything inside stays super moist as it cooks. It gives off its natural, its natural juices or whatever. So make sure that it's a little bit wet, and we're going to fold the sides in. Now this is where you really got to be careful, because what you want to do is you want to push this down, and push this down here, and kind of stick it. But you want to have a good seal right here, because that's where you're going to roll, and that's what's going to keep the fryer oil from going inside. Okay, so you kind of push it down, and you give it one little roll, maybe a quarter turn, and you can kind of pull back a little bit. Kind of, so same way we did the sushi. If you remember the sushi, we kind of tucked it in there, and while it's like that, you get just a tiny bit more egg wash, and make sure you've got some egg wash here, and the tip has a little bit of the wash on it too. And you're just going to kind of roll it. Okay. Okay. You see the end is really nicely sealed. That end is really nicely sealed. And that end is nice and flat and sticking. You want to put it on a sheet tray or a cookie sheet or whatever, or onto the table. It doesn't really matter if you're going to do a bunch of them and then fry them right away. With a little parchment underneath, but make sure this part is actually down, because what it does is it puts a little weight on it and it helps it to stick. Now I'm going to do 2 more things for you. I know we're supposed to only do spring rolls, but I'm going to do a little bonus here. Okay, a little bit of egg wash. This is a wonton skin. This is a dumpling wrapper. Okay, so I know a couple of guys wanted, we're talking about dumplings. Put the filling inside. And dumplings are wontons are super easy. You just take it, pinch it shut. Okay. Really easy. Make sure you get all the air out. And then I like to flatten it out a little bit. And there is a wonton. Okay. Now you get a little bit more egg wash. You can do them kind of cool like that too. Something like that's kind of neat. I'm going to give a little shape to it. Okay. Dumplings, these are a little bit more difficult. Get a little bit of the filling. These are tricky. I'm going to try and do it here. Wrap my hands like this. Okay, you want to cradle it. I'm actually cradling it with these, my ring finger and my middle finger. My pinky's not doing anything really. You fold it and you hold it like, I don't know, maybe like a taco or something. Okay. You pinch. Now, one thing you're doing, you're actually going to be pinching or folding the front, not the back. And this is how you get this cool shape. Okay, pinch, fold, pinch, fold, pinch, pinch, fold, pinch, fold, pinch, fold the whole way down. And when you get towards the end, and if it starts to poke out a little bit or push out a little bit, just kind of push it back in there. And then the very last one, you do that. Okay. Oops. And you just fold it on itself. Flat on the back. Fold it in the front. There's a dumpling. Okay. Easy. Okay. So we're gonna cook some of these guys, and then cut one of the spring rolls open. Kind of show you the inside and see how nice and moist it stays. Okay. So we'll give this a shot here in the fryer, 350 degrees, till they float, basically. And the dumplings, you want to just do them boiling water. Start it in boiling water, just like you would pasta. It's basically like a ravioli. You got to treat it like a ravioli. Put them in boiling water. And when they float, they're done. All right. So we'll be right back. Thanks, guys. Okay, guys, had them in the fryer for a couple of minutes. And one of the things I did misspeak a little bit is about floating when they're done. You want to go by color. Give them a couple of minutes. They float almost immediately just because of the veg. There's airspace. There's air pockets in these, so they will float almost right off the bat. So I'm sorry about that. But one of the things I did while they were in the fryer, as quick as that, is threw together a little dipping sauce. It's about 1/3 of a cup of soy, light soy again. A little bit of thinly sliced Thai chilies, the little red Thai bird chilies, some scallion, and some toasted black and white sesame seeds. And the one thing I'm going to add to it last, because I wanted you to see it, is sweet soy. Sweet soy looks like molasses. It's real thick. It's sweet. It's not salty. And it's really, really nice because when you add it, it adds a little bit of a significant amount of sweetness, actually. And it adds some body to sauces. It works good as a glaze or a little marinade too if you throw it in with some other stuff. There's also a little bit of fresh ginger and fresh garlic in the sauce too, the dipping sauce. So, and you'll see as I kind of pour it in there, it's thick. So stir that around. Now this is really, really simple. I didn't even do a recipe for it. I'm not even worried about it. It's just something to try at home. Now when you look at these guys, this is the wonton. You see when you fry it, it gets all nice and bubbly. And it gets really, really crunchy. You know, great. But inside, it stays nice and moist. You know, you can see that. Get rid of that. I'll eat you later, buddy. The dumpling, again, is super nice and tender. And the spring roll. Spring roll holds up great. You can hear really crunchy and crackly. And when you split it open, the veg is still together. It's not mushy. It's got texture to it. It's going to have some crunch to it. But that pork inside is really nice and moist. So there you go. Spring rolls, dumplings, wontons. Thanks for visiting the channel. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys try it. And don't stop at this. Throw lots of fun stuff in there. All your favorite flavors work really, really good in a dish like this, or like, subscribe, follow, share the videos. You know, sharing the videos really is important to me, because it hopefully brings new people to the community. I do have a channel on VidMe. I'm uploading on VidMe, and I have recently opened up a Patreon account, so you can come over if you like what you see and you want to help out a little bit. I appreciate it immensely. And I'm coming up on 500 views for my this video will take me up over 500 views, I'm sure, which is really cool. It's a nice little milestone for me. So I appreciate it, and thanks for watching.